Why do I feel like I had something due today? My meeting. What time is it? What time is it?
Oh no.
Sister, she look crusty. She look a little rough.
Just wake up? Is she here in a bonnet?
Somebody call Monique.
We do not pay her enough.
Wow. She ain't have to snap like that.
Get into it. Show out there.
What is good, y'all? It is Bree Hall, and I'm back with another video. Now, we all know that my passion is very dramatic, very extravagant beat makeup. But there's, you know, events, special events, Instagram, social media, and then there's real life. So I know back to school is coming up for a lot of people, thankfully not me, but I really want to start integrating more content on my channel that pertains to real everyday life, because look, the chance of you wearing a smoky eye to your 8 a.m. Zoom call is unlikely. I've done it before though. I had an 8 a.m. class and I used to film before we're not getting into that. Something I've experienced in this past year, now that we're converting to digital with our classes, our jobs, everything like that, is I've overslept. Raise your hand if you've overslept, forgot you had a meeting altogether because life is hectic, you're just not a morning person, or you're just busy. Whatever the reason may be, sometimes we have to get presentable in a quick flash in a hurry, and that is the theme of today's video. But regardless of what your morning style is like, what you got going on in life, look, we're all trying to get to this bag, trying to be our best version of ourselves. And speaking of securing a bag, today's video is sponsored by MAC Cosmetics. Okay, all right, we gotta keep the lights on in here. So thank you, shout out to MAC, and let's get right into today's video tips. How to look presentable, put together, whatever, in a jiffy. Literally looking like just rolled out of bed to getting ahead in life. The first thing I do when I realize I've overslept or I have somewhere to be very quickly is bathe in moisturizer. My skin when I wake up is super duper dehydrated. Like, it is just crying out for some moisture, and looking moisturized on camera regardless is always gonna make you look more put together, because you're gonna look like self-care. You know what I mean? You're gonna look like you drank 18 glasses of water in the last 2 days. So that's my first tip. The next thing would be tackling hair. Now, hair is a whole totally different subject. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a separate video about this. Everybody's hair is not going to be in a state where you can get it together in 1 or 2 minutes, especially when you have natural hair like me. Sometimes you sleep a certain way. My tips for hair are totally different. Like, on the safe side, if you have the time to do so, bun, ponytail, puff, period. My next tip, light coverage. You do not want to be going for full coverage, because full coverage has to be blended flawlessly or it look a mess. You know what I'm saying? It creates harsh lines. It can be cakey. There's a lot of things that can happen. So I always go for like a serum foundation, a water-based foundation, something very light that's just gonna have me a little bit more even, give me a little glow. You know what I'm saying? Again, going with that healthy, you know, I didn't just wake up. Clearly I've been up for hours, even though I'm not a morning person. That's what we're giving. Now this part is self-explanatory, but spot concealing. Do that sparingly if you can. I know everybody's skin is different and everybody has different skin concerns, but just concealing the spots that are absolutely like bound to be picked up on a camera, especially a webcam, has lower quality. So some things aren't gonna show up as clear, but I know for just the evenness of the skin tone, a quick spot conceal and brightening the under eyes just a little bit is good. I also say, even though you're gonna see in this clip it's a little bit bright, I always end up mixing a drop or two of my foundation in with my concealer, just so that it's not in your face, because concealer being too bright also looks very unnatural. Pressed powder. I know we love our loose powders to set under the eyes, to set the face, what have you, but since when I'm trying to look a little glowy, a little refreshed for Zoom, I don't like being too shiny, but I also don't like to overset my face, because then that's a whole extra set of steps that we're cutting out of this process. I get a nice pressed powder, rub a little powder brush in it, tap all the excess off, and just tap under my eyes. My best kept secret if you're in a rush, because loose powder, it can get on your clothes. It can be a little messy with handling. You gotta unscrew jar lids. You gotta put it on a countertop. Pressed powder is good because you have a mirror inside of most pressed powders as well, so you can look at what you're doing. And I've been able to do my makeup in a car, a moving car. Thank you to pressed powder. Shout out to pressed powder. My next tip, bronzer. Okay, so for bronzer, this is my most important tip, low key. Well, bronzer and blush. So bronzer is important because a lot of times when I first wake up, that's when I have some of these calls that I kind of rush to. You're gonna look a little bit more swollen and puffy from sleeping. Bronzer is a saving grace. It makes me look a little bit warmer, a little bit more chiseled, just a little bit, but not a matte, harsh bronzer that's full coverage. I go for a dewy bronzer with a little bit more of a light coverage. And there's so many brands I could recommend for this. Blush, another huge tip. Blush makes you look like the blood is pumping through your face, even if you use blush as bronzer, okay? Controversial, I know. But blush will get you right for these calls, even if you don't put on anything I just said. Look, moisturizer and blush. This is huge, huge. Cannot skip this. I need a hydrated lip when I am getting on a call, especially when it's early in the morning. Matte lips, just like full coverage foundation, require a lot of extra neatness. You know what I mean? With a matte lip, you want to go around it with your concealer. You want to make sure the lines are clean. When I don't have time to be making sure lines are super clean and I just want it to look like my lip but a little bit better, and you don't, especially again in the morning, you're a little dehydrated, okay? You might be a little crusty. So you don't want your lips cracking, splitting, doing all that first thing in the morning when people are looking at you and they have to tell you like, girl, your lip busted or whatever. A lot of matte lipsticks can be very drying.
All I ever heard was noise over my Nintendo.
So my next tip is a simple one, but it makes a world of a difference, okay? And that is jewelry. I know, again, all of these are optional. Take it or leave it. You might just still get up and just sit right down and do none of this, but I know that jewelry, just like putting in a simple earring, I'm happy because I have a double piercing, so I always have earrings in, even if I don't have my first holes like with anything in them. So jewelry is something about jewelry that just makes you look more put together, period. Like even the most simple thing, a necklace, an earring. And sometimes I say get earrings that are small and comfortable enough to sleep in. That's why I'm starting to invest even more in like real jewelry, because I know costume jewelry is fun. You could get it in bulk. You could get a lot of it for very cheap, but I'm investing more in like real jewelry. Like what I have here is, these are real, you know, jewelry pieces that I can sleep in. It's not gonna turn your ear no colors or nothing. My final tip is having fitted neutral clothing, not just pullovers, but specifically zip ups, so that you don't have to worry about messing up your makeup or your hair, because there's nothing worse than putting all that time in when you're in a rush and then having to fix things because your outfit messed it up. Fitted neutral clothing that zips up. Also, make sure you comment below what your favorite tips are for when you're in a rush. All right, and please, 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 y'all, let's keep it positive. Let's actually keep it helpful, because I know there's a lot of people that want to like one up you on like, yes girl, give us less. Like they'll be like, I don't do any of that. We know sometimes I don't do this, but when sometimes it is necessary, sometimes it's a type of call where I want my best foot forward. For example, if I'm on FaceTime with my best friend, she gonna see me in a shower cap, okay? She gonna see that, she's seen the bonnet, she's seen all awkward double chin angles, but some of these calls are with, you know, brands I want to work with, people I'm meeting for the first time and things like that, and I want to put my best foot forward and not look like I didn't care at all about the call. What was the term I heard before? Unearned intimacy, if you will. So unearned intimacy is a big issue where someone shows up in a way that's more intimate, more comfortable than where your relationship is actually at in real life. So I feel like coming with my best foot forward, it actually, I feel like, makes people feel respected in a way, like I put time and effort into our meetings. Love y'all. Peace out. Hi everybody, is everyone ready to get started?